What is going on, everybody? It's Jaxson, aka Xandrious, and I'm here for a review of A Cure for Wellness, a movie that I recently saw in the theater. And here to help me review this movie are my two friends, Z and Eric. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Z.
I'm Eric.
So basically, me and Z have already seen the movie, so we have our opinions on it. Eric hasn't seen it yet. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to give our opinion on it and then have Eric sort of base his of what he's seen off the trailers and promo images for the movie.
Yeah, I've seen just the trailer right now.
So something that me and Z can both agree on immediately straight off the bat is that we don't like this movie. Basically, we went and saw it with one other friend, and straight out of the showing, we immediately were like, this movie just wasn't our thing. It was weird. It was, it just wasn't like, as you can see from the images up above right here, they just, like, it was just, I don't know. It wasn't just the visuals that threw me off about the movie. It was also the script and stuff, but there's a lot of things about the movie that just didn't work for me. I don't know if Z can sort of, like, add to that in any way.
There are a few glaring issues. We're kind of in like a weird middle zone with modern movies where we want to see something original, but the originality of movies isn't really done very well, if that makes any kind of sense.
It does.
Isn't that how like cult classics were made?
Well, so like the thing with cult classics is everybody knows that they're bad, and probably including the people who made those movies. But when you look at A Cure for Wellness, you probably can tell.
Oh damn, this is bad.
Whoever made the movie was like, I'm going to be like the next Kubrick or the next like this is my like magnum opus kind of thing.
So you think Gore Verbinski was trying to go so edgy that he like broke his knife? He was going so edgy he like, because you can agree the movie definitely was pushing some edges and like wasn't sort of, it was edgy, but at the same time you think it was too edgy that it
too much edge.
I don't know if I would say it's too edgy, but I would definitely put forward that the material was there. It needed a better script.
Okay. What do you think about the pacing of the movie? Do you think it was like super? Because there were certain points where we were looking over at each other and we're like, this movie isn't ending. Like, this shit is hell of long.
It's over 2 hours, and more than once we all kind of looked over each other in the theater. Like, there was a scene where we're like, okay, that's a wrap up, I guess. like where we really did think it was going to end.
Okay,
the credits were going to roll, and then the next scene came in, and it was just
that movie didn't seem to fucking end. I swear to God, there were 3 points in the movie where we're sitting there and like, okay, this is an interesting ending. Like, again, spoilers since we're already fucking going over how much we don't like the movie. There's a scene in the fucking movie where they shove a tube down the fucker's throat and they just start pouring they're pouring eels in that motherfucker like it's going out of style.
Oh, and that was the snakes in the thing I saw. Got it.
So they're fucking just pouring the goddamn eels in his ass.
Well,
and he
eels.
Like, how do you not fucking die from that? First. Second of all, that's a good ending point of it's like, okay, he's dead. Alright, he found the cure. It's fucking his stupidity. Okay, like, it just didn't make sense how the movie had ending points, and then they kept building and building and building, so it got to a point where you're, like, the cure for wellness was leaving the movie theater so you'd feel better. Like, that's how it felt for me.
When I was watching the movie, well, like you said, we hit a couple of those points where like it seemed like that was the ending point of the movie, and like as we were watching it, like the next scene would come on, and what I felt like it was like some kid who was like talking about like a story, and he goes and like he's saying something, and then right before you think his little story is gonna end, he goes, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Yeah,
dude, where's my car?
It really felt like it was just someone going, and then.
Dude, where's my slug?
It was not enjoyable, to be honest.
Okay, Eric. So what did you gather off the trailers for this? What did you think the movie was going to be about, or like?
Well, honestly, I can't really get a good opinion on it from just a trailer. Because, I mean, it can be anything from, like, it looked like an old people's home at first, then it looked like some Soylent Green type shit, and I was just like,
Okay, that's actually a good feel I got from the trailers. That's the one good thing they do about the trailers is they don't give too much away. They have, like, those quick snapshots of the eels, and then, like, that's it.
Well, I mean, when we were looking for a movie to go see on that particular day, we were having like a hard time deciding. And then you mentioned A Cure for Wellness. I had remembered, like, oh, I was actually wanting to see A Cure for Wellness just based off of the trailers. Like, this actually looks like a good movie. And then we got into it, and, well, I mean, you've already heard part of our opinion so far.
Yeah.
Garbage.
I mean, I don't know. I definitely was knee-jerk reaction at the end of seeing that movie was like, holy fuck, this is really bad. Like, nothing about it seemed redeemable to me. And then after watching, like, because after the movie went back to Z's place and we were just sort of laughing our asses off about the movie and watching, like, reviewers go over it and saying, like, how they liked it. And I still was, even at that point, was like, okay, I really don't like this movie. Like, it's not my thing. And the more I think about it, the more, like, I've come to accept it, but I still don't like it. It's still one of those movies that, like, I can understand why someone would like it. I wouldn't agree with why they'd like it, but I can see why they'd like it. But it definitely is not up my alley. I'm more of a go see Transformers in theaters type of guy. You know what I mean? Megan Fox, you know what I mean? Type of guy.
I like how you're like the more I've come to accept it.
I mean, I don't know. If you like the movie, go ahead and fucking like the movie. People like seeing fucking Saw. This movie isn't like Saw. I mean, it has a scene like Saw, but it doesn't, like, it's not my cup of tea. I don't know.
So it has some really nice landscaping shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like there were some really well directed looking scenes, but in terms of would I praise this movie based off of its like no. Would I praise the movie based off of its visuals? No. There are better movies that have better visuals. But I think it does deserve like a small call out. Like, well, it wasn't entirely shit. They had some good stuff going for them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So, do you think the movie was going a little edgy with the villain character? Do you think that this guy was a little too edgy, a little too out there for some people who like are just like, for example, like the Sunday crowd? They'll show up to the movie and be like, "Oh, I just want to go see a cool like thriller horror movie," and then they come in and they see that guy. Do you think
No, it doesn't look like that type of movie from like even the trailer.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that's what people are going to be like. Oh, it's a Sunday movie.
Okay,
like,
I gotcha. Okay.
It looks like more of a I wouldn't say adult audience, like a Tarantino movie. You wouldn't take your kid to go see a Tarantino movie.
I would.
Kind of fucking shitty parents wouldn't take their kid to a Tarantino movie. Pulp Fiction, childhood.
No,
classic.
I mean like a kid, like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, this movie definitely isn't for anyone under 18. I could say I don't think anyone. Okay, and then on the same fucking flip of that coin, if you're over 18 and you see the end of the movie, you don't like. So the girl character is over 18 in this movie. She's an adult. But the way they film this shit and the way she looks, you think she's fucking 12 by the way she acts and the way like she's dressed. So there's a scene where she gets her top pulled off and her breastises are hanging out.
Breastises?
Dude, seriously, I'm not kidding.
Wait, was that
like,
the nurse in the trailer that was tripping?
Uncomfortable for me, to say the least. Not only the fact that the villain, again, spoiler, so if you don't want to hear a spoiler, click off the fucking video.
That's okay. I'm probably not going to see it. Oh.
Probably for the better. The villain is her dad, and he wants to. He does horrible things to his daughter. Let's just say.
Wink, wink.
So,
trying to cop a feel.
Yeah. So it was a tad bit uncomfortable, to say the least. So the way Dane DeHaan's looking in this picture right here, that's how I felt at the end of the movie. I'm just gonna say like that. That's how I felt. Like.
So just go watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, pretty much. If you want to see some quality incest, Game of Thrones. If you want to see some shitty tier incest,
okay, so here's the thing.
Quality incest. That's fucking bad.
Jesus. Here's the thing. Like, I feel like when it comes to movies or any kind of any kind of like thing that could be declared art, per se. Right? There's always gonna be the arrogant kind of people who are like, oh, I'm above that, whatever, right? And it's fucking bullshit, of course. But movies are inescapable too. So there's gonna be people out there who are like, I wouldn't go watch Avengers because it's just a movie it's just a silly action movie for kids, right?
Yeah.
Or like things like that. I feel like there are people out there who saying they like the movie just to get that, like, I'm an adult and these are the movies that adults watch kind of thing, right? And this movie is like 2 hours, like almost 2.5 hours, I think, right? And we saw John Wick 2 weeks ago, which is 2 hours 2 minutes. And even though John Wick had like, well, let's be honest, a pretty paper thin plot to begin with.
It was an action movie.
Yeah, it was an action movie, but it was in like the style of we're not going to go for this. Here's the message about the world. Here's why capitalism is wrong or whatever. It was just an action movie, and it was just far superior.
Yeah.
In pretty much every way, shape, and form to A Cure for Wellness.
Yeah, I think that there's even movies that are geared towards children that are better even for adults to watch. I think that a good example of that is like Zootopia. That movie, on a complete tangent here, that movie is geared for children 100%, but if you're an adult and you're seeing that movie, if you're going with your kids and seeing the movie, or if you're just like an adult going to see the movie, you can still draw away more and connect more to that movie than this one. I think that this movie isn't really designed to be connected to beyond the fact that, like, if you're unhappy with your life, go get squids up your ass.
Oh my God.
That's basically, I don't know. I feel like,
Squid ass.
I don't know. What they were trying to accomplish in this movie, I can't pinpoint what the hell this movie's point was. It was, maybe it doesn't need to have a point, dude. But I feel like for a movie about something called A Cure for Wellness, I hope that something, maybe there is, maybe I just don't see the point of the movie and I'm just like, I need to see it a second time, which, God forbid.
I think it would be rough trying to watch that through a second time.
I mean, at least you know it's fucking coming the second time.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, movie fatigue is a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Pacific Rim like 6 times, and it's just a great movie every time.
Yeah.
Because it knows what it is, right? It knows that it's an action movie about giant monsters getting punched. That is what it's trying to be.
That's why I like the Triple X movies, like with Vin Diesel. Same thing.
See, those ones are just cringy. For me, that's...
No, dude, you gotta go snowboarding.
Skiing through trees.
Go snowboarding with a fucking keyboard in your lap, and you're fucking just sliding down the hill fucking hacking people. And then you do a triple flip, and you switch on the fucking skis midair. And then you start riding a motorcycle through the ocean.
Yeah, that's action. The 2003 version.
Please tell me that didn't actually happen in a movie.
Oh, I don't
Dude, the fuckers were riding motorcycles through the ocean. You think I'm joking? He was, dude. He was riding a fucking motorcycle.
A few years ago when I actually saw the first guy that was doing that on the news, like, they're like, oh, this is the coolest thing. It just hit mainstream, like instantly. Like, a whole bunch of people were doing it. And I was like, oh, it's not... I mean, even though it's a skill that I may never possess, it didn't seem that as cool anymore. And now they're like, a bunch of people are doing it. I'm just like, oh, yeah, there's people do it now.
Okay,
it's
so...
become mainstream.
So... Final verdict on A Cure for Wellness.
Shit movie.
Okay, thank you for not seeing it and giving us that review. All right, Z. Would you want to give it a letter grade, or would you just want to give it like a color feeling, sort of like where you stand on it?
Color-coded.
Color feeling. I love going to the movies. I'll start by saying that. I love going to the movies. I definitely regretted seeing A Cure for Wellness.
Okay.
After it's all said and done.
All right, that's fine. So after first seeing it, I would definitely give it like a fucking F if I had to give it a letter. Just because, again, I was so thrown off by the fucking end of that movie. Just straight out of the bat. But as I've sort of grown on it, I've sort of, I don't know. I don't appreciate it for what it tried to do, but I appreciate what it did. And by that I mean... I like the shots. A lot of the shots were really good. I thought the lighting was really good. The color scheme was a little too gray for me, but that might have been what they were going for when it came to the color scheme. The script was super weird. Like, some of the shit they said I think was intentional, but overall I would give it definitely one of these out of 10. One of these guys right here, one of those Cat in the Hat memes out of 10. Just because I think Cure for Wellness wasn't like... I don't know. The only way I can talk about this movie is through memes, dude.
You get a Cat in the Hat meme.
I had a meme on this movie, dude. So that's my opinion on it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you feel the same. Do you guys have any opinions you'd like to agree before we sign off here?
If you had a color code, the movie, what color would you assign it?
Blue, teal.
Really,
teal.
Yeah, right.
I give it a teal because it had some blue. I give it teal. Teal.
Fuck
was
you,
the
I like
color
teal.
for it.
Not no more if you don't.
Teal's a positive color for me.
All right, guys, we're gonna head out. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to see any more movie reviews where we just shit on a movie for 15 minutes or so, go for it. This has been 2 Dudes and 1 Noob movie reviews.